Thank you, Shara. Okay, so now that we're starting here, so my name is Julia. I am a senior gold Plexus ambassador. I've been with Plexus for a year and a half now, which seems crazy to think about the fact that it's been a year and a half. And in that time, I have grown to know so much and learned so many different things. And prior to doing Plexus on a regular basis, I actually have been a nurse. I've worked for 23 years. It'll be this year, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, it'll be for 23 years. I've been a nurse, and I've worked mostly in the medical community. I've always worked in the hospital, acute care setting, critical care setting, and all those different places. And so I have done an array of different jobs there, but in the last 15 years, I've stuck mainly in high risk critical care OB. And truly, my journey with Plexus came at a point in time where I was really starting to question the field of work that I was in, because I always grew up as a person that was very, I mean, my family was very much the normal, I feel like, nutritional base. Like they think low fat, vegetables periodically, but your pastas, your breads, all those different things. And so I didn't actually grow up having a whole lot of true health and nutrition knowledge in my family until I met my husband. And then I started digging a lot more into nutrition and supplementation and things like that. And so through that journey, I've learned a lot, and I loved always taking care of people, which led me into nursing. And obviously the last couple of years, I have really started to kind of pull a little bit more away from that, because the medical system is just more heavily leaned on medication to fix things, whereas I firmly believe that the Lord made our bodies fully capable of healing most of the time when we give it what it needs. And so I really started digging into more health and nutrition when I've met my husband. Fast forward a few years, back in October of 2021, I found myself riddled with terrible indigestion, heartburn and indigestion all the time. I was waking up in the middle of the night having to take medication when I had already taken it during the day. So I was needing to increase my medication. And I started realizing I was drinking a lot of energy drinks. At the time, it was like, 2021 was COVID still-ish. And I was working a lot of extra hours helping cover for low staffing. And I was drinking a lot of energy drinks. Most of the time, they weren't anything like Red Bull or anything like that, but they were just the little packets that you get at the store that you add into your drink. So in my mind, so much better than, drinking a Red Bull or something of that nature. Well, for a year and a half of that on a daily basis, sometimes twice a day, depending on my sleep and my work schedule, it really started to mess with my stomach. I was starting to feel more nauseated every time I ate. I was just uncomfortable, and I just didn't feel good. And nobody would be able to tell that. I mean, I look fairly the same as I did back then. And so if you look at me, you would never know any different. But to be me and to feel how I felt, I could tell there was something in my body that just wasn't right, and I needed to take better care of it. So Cassie, my friend, had posted something about an energy challenge, and of course that piqued my interest. And so I jumped on board with that and saw an incredible testimony with that, with just within a couple days. And everybody is different. Not everybody gets that quick of an experience, but that was definitely something that really piqued my interest. And honestly, I think it was a God thing. I think God, because Cassie's reached out to me for 6 years. Some of you know that story. And she has tried to get me to understand gut health. She tried to get me to try the products, and I just kept putting her off. I ghosted her multiple times. And so it was just one of those things that I did not have the eyes to see or the ears to hear at that moment, if any of you guys know that scripture verse. But in December of 2021, I had an incredible reaction, or response, I should say, to these supplements. And my brain just flipped, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I feel this good in a couple of days, I wonder how much better I can feel in a month. And so I talked to my husband. We made the decision to invest in our health and to see what it would look like to try to take these supplements for a month and see what I would get out of it. And at that point, I think he was just happy if I were to stay working and keep my job. And so he's kind of like, whatever you need to do to feel better, do it, you know? So I did. And honestly, within the first 15 days, there wasn't any huge major changes. But I started hearing testimonies after testimonies of how these supplements have changed people's lives in their medical diagnoses, which obviously piqued my interest because in the medical field, you're taught that most diseases end up requiring medication for the rest of their lives. So like autoimmune disorders, thyroid issues, all those different things, ulcerative colitis, all those different things that typically would require you to be on medication for the rest of your life. I'm hearing stories of people getting better, seeing relief from some of their symptoms, if not all of their symptoms, coming down off of their medications. Amazing stories. And it really set my nurse brain into overdrive to try to figure out why these supplements were so impactful. And to be quite honest, when I started digging in, I realized that there was no going back. I knew at that point why, like after I started really researching it and seeing how much it's connected to so many different aspects in our health, I knew at that moment that it could be powerful and it was something that everybody needed in their life. Everybody needed for their health. And honestly, if you talk to your doctors, most every doctor will tell you that you should have a good probiotic. There are some doctors that I've talked to and I've questioned, like, what are your thoughts on this? And one of their responses was, well, they can get most of what they need through food. And out of a show of hands, how many of you guys like, what is it, kimchi or something like that? Sauerkraut, plain yogurt. Like, how many of us are realistically going to sit there and eat that on a regular basis to get that in our meals, right? Not very many of us. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Becky's saying thumbs down, man. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the reality of the world that we live in is we like our food, and yes, we can make healthier choices, but most of those things that we eat on a regular basis aren't feeding and helping our gut be healthier. And so if we can get it through supplementation, it can be incredibly powerful because you can have a little bit of the best of both worlds. Obviously, we still need to make healthy choices and pay attention to our health, but the reality of trying to go to the store and getting all these things to all of us working moms or women who have regular jobs don't have time to just sit at home and bake all day, every day, you know? And so to be able to make all those different things is very unrealistic. So that is one thing I really love. So I'm going to kind of open this up here. I'm going to share my screen with you for just a second here, because I have found that this is something that is so powerful. So when I first looked into taking these supplements, I was actually talking to my medical doctor about it, and I have an amazing medical doctor. I will say I'm very, very blessed in that aspect. And one of the things that she initially told me was, because I was talking to her about inflammation and how much I was learning about how inflammation in the body is so toxic and deadly and how it riddles us because of the food we eat in our country. And even if we try to eat super healthy, it comes in the form of chemicals in our foods that we don't really have a lot of control of and all these things. And one of the things that she said to me that I will never forget is, Julia, if I can take out inflammation from people's systems, you will cure 99% of all diseases. And that stuck with me so powerfully. Like, that's coming from my medical doctor. I was like, yes, exactly. Like, if we can help people understand that inflammation is truly the root cause of most illness and disease, and that we have a way to help that. I mean, it was mind blowing to me. So this is just a small picture of some symptoms that can relate to struggles with your gut microbiome. So your body is made up of mostly microbiome. To be quite honest, you're actually more microbiome cells than you are any other cells that you are in your body, which is also mind-boggling to me. But if you think about it, microbiome is found on your skin, microbiome is found in your mouth, it's found in your throat, your esophagus, your stomach, your intestines, your colon, obviously. Actually, microbiome is found in your uterus. And in a lot of the tissues that make up a lot of your organs, which makes sense why we have some of the struggles and disease that we do today. Because if you think of Candida, all of our bodies house Candida. Candida is a natural forming yeast that our bodies create. I posted about it today. I always find that post to be so intriguing because Yeast is something that our body candida specifically, something that our body creates so that when we die, we decompose. And the problem is whenever we have more, so you naturally have bugs, I should say, bacteria that live in your system, right? These are just a few symptoms that can be a, let's say, a little picture into your gut microbiome if you struggle with any of these symptoms. And it can tell you that you have more bad bacteria in your system than you have good bacteria in your system. And when you have more good bacteria in your system, you have a better immune system, you have less disease in your body, you feel better. You don't normally have all these, headaches on a regular basis, tummy issues, bowel issues. You don't have a lot of those because your good bacteria outweighs your bad bacteria. The majority of people in the United States specifically have more bad bacteria in their gut microbiome than they have good bacteria. And what happens is when we have that shift, what we end up finding is more disease, lower immune response. So you catch every cough, cold, or virus that is going around. You have a lot of different diseases that maybe you start having creep up on you. And it's not something that comes on right away. It's something that goes gradual and over time, right? So it is definitely something that you want to have more good bacteria in your body than you have bad bacteria. And the way that we do that, I'm going to go back over here too. Again, sorry, I haven't figured out how to do the whole, what is it called? Where you have like you can scroll through your pictures. I haven't figured that out yet. So Cher, if you know how to do that, you have to fill me in on that because I'm not sure how to do that yet. But this is a graphic that I really enjoy because it has a lot of good information for it. First of all, it talks about how probiotics help you have life, basically. Probiotics are living, healthy bacteria in your gut microbiome. And if you think about probiotics versus antibiotics, probiotic means for life, antibiotic is death of life. It's like anti is against, right? So when you are having more bad bacteria, or if you've taken a lot of antibiotics in your lifetime and you've killed out a lot of the good bacteria, at some point in time that will catch up and you'll start seeing more diseases. You'll start seeing more illness. One of the things that I learned was that 70 to 90% of your immune system is located in your GI tract. So if you are having struggles with getting sick a lot, more than likely, either it's related to one of three things. It could be the fact that you don't have enough sleep, could be the fact that your gut health is off, and it could be the fact that it's related to stress. So the majority of people don't get enough sleep and they don't get enough probiotics in their system. They don't have enough good bacteria. So it is typically in relation to both of those. The other thing that I find incredibly mind-boggling is the fact that 90% of our serotonin levels are produced in our gut. And I thought that was just so incredible because if you think about that in relation to the mental health concerns that we have in our society, I feel like it makes so much more sense as to why we have so many issues with mental health in our society, because most of the people are eating terrible things. They're not taking care of their bodies. They're focused on quick fixes. So all of these different things begin to add up over time. And when you get to the point where you aren't taking care of yourself anymore and you're not focusing on your gut microbiome or your health in general, that is going to catch up with you. And to know that your serotonin levels, your happy levels are found in your gut. If you have more bad bacteria than good bacteria, obviously you're going to be more prone to depression, anxiety. And to be quite honest, back in December of 2021, in hindsight, I can look back and say I actually had a lot of anxiety creeping up on me that I had never had in my life before. It explains a lot more about the tension headaches I was having, the nauseousness with and after every single meal I was eating, that pit in your stomach where just when things happen, you just have that ball in your tummy. Those are all things that have since resolved, and has been such an incredible blessing to be able to have that happen. One of the things that the reason that I brought you guys on here tonight and to share with you guys is, when I found Plexus, to me, I felt like I truly found the fountain of youth, because when I realized what this could do for other people, my nursing side just started to go crazy because I'm like, all of these people, I know so many people that need help with their sleep, that have gut issues, that have headache issues, that have chronic pain, like all these things that I'm finding out they're actually related to inflammation in your system, and the gut controls and is the root cause of all that. In the next few years, I can almost guarantee you guys that we will see a huge spike in gut health education, because we're already starting to see that. And there's going to be a lot more information. People are going to be jumping onto this a lot more, because they're going to realize not only how powerful they are, but through the testimonies and their own life, they're going to start realizing how important gut health is. So our triplex system is one of the by far most powerful supplement regimens I have ever seen in my life. I have done supplementation for years since my husband and I met, which is 23 this year, years ago. And our probiotic is one of the probably most powerful. Now, I personally was taking a probiotic when I started the regimen. And so when Kathy was talking to me and she's like, well, do you take a probiotic? Most people, if you've ever talked to them, most people say no. But when you specifically ask if you take a probiotic and what type of changes you've seen from those probiotics, you may find an array of answers. Like, for example, like my answer was, well, I take it, it's more of a checkbox instead of actually noticing a whole lot of changes. Some people will be like, well, I at least have a bowel movement every day. And you're like, well, good for you. Why do you still have Hashimoto's? Or good for you. That's great. Why are you still struggling with your blood sugars being out of whack? All these different things that are good questions to ask if you know their, struggles. But with our triplex, I think the power behind the triplex is honestly all three of those supplements together. Because being in nursing, one of the things that I learned is there are certain different things in nutrition that have to have a carrier. Okay. So for example, I always like to use vitamin D because it's a simple one that everybody knows vitamin D and everybody actually can use vitamin D. Your doctor's going to tell you to go out and walk. You should go out and walk, get in the sun, but that is likely not going to increase your vitamin D to the point where you need it to. But if you take vitamin D and you don't take it with a good fat, the likelihood of it absorbing in your system and actually helping increase your vitamin D levels is very low. It has to have a good fat carrier in order to be able to process and get into your cellular level. So if you think of all the triplex, if you guys have customers that are on the triplex, or if you are looking at taking the triplex, you have to take all three of them if you are looking to heal it from that. Okay. If you're just looking to, be more regular, you can get away with one of them. They are all amazing products in themselves. They all do great things. But when you're looking at truly healing and truly getting better from whatever ailments that you are struggling with, you need to have all three of them because they all work beautifully together. Our company is one of the companies that one of the things I love most about this company is that they have a group of doctors, herbalists, nutritionalists, and dietitians that all work together to help figure out what supplements work best together so that they can be most powerful in your system. And I think number one, where does that happen? We don't normally get doctors and nutritionalists and herbalists who all work together. And I love that about this company. That is speaking my love language right there, 101, from my medical side, because I have always dreamed of having medicine and nutrition and naturalistic doctors and all those working together. So this is the perfect case for me. But it's one of those things that is super powerful because they all have good information, and sharing that and knowing how to put that all together to make it the most powerful for the people's systems that they're trying to help with it, I think is really where the rubber meets the road. And so our triplex system is the main gut foundational regimen that anybody should take. And you can't change my mind on that. I firmly believe that every single person should be on that regimen. Now we have other amazing supplements that I don't want to not mention. Oh, box. That is not what I meant to do, you guys. Sorry about that. But let me pull this up here because I think this is another one. So we talked a little bit about autoimmune disease, leaky gut disease, adrenal gland issues with chronic fatigue and stuff like that. X Factor Plus is also an incredible supplement that I think everybody should at least give a chance to, especially if you struggle with issues with hormones. This has been a very, very vital, it has played a very vital role in helping me with hot flashes. I have been in menopause, shockingly. I know I am young. Thank you. But I have been in menopause for the last 5 years. I think I was diagnosed with it when I was 36. I was premenopausal. So technically I haven't been in menopause. I've been premenopausal for that long, but I started menopause a year and a half ago. And this has been so significant of a help. Every single person that I talk to that has hormone issues or that's struggling with menopause, I get them on that supplement because that supplement is super duper powerful. The other thing that I want to make sure and share while we're on here, because this is something that has been near and dear to my heart. It is something that honestly I was very skeptical about whenever it first started, whenever it first came out. If any of you guys know me, you know that I do not like quick fixes. I think that is something that is a lie. Honestly, it only works quickly for a while unless you fix and approach the root of the issue and actually start to work hard. Hard work is what pays off. It's not quick fixes. And most people who go for the quick fixes will find out at some point that that doesn't work. They'll just keep yo-yoing back and forth. Our metabolic reset with our 3-day reset is incredible. When they first put it out, I was very skeptical because I thought everybody's going to look at this for a quick fix. But as I started to use it and I came to realize that there's so much power behind actually having a 3-day fast, specifically that is nutritionally supported. And that is really where the kicker is. So first of all, the 3 benefits of the reset are it helps to boost your metabolism. Okay. It actually helps support your body's natural defense against toxins. And then it helps to detoxify the liver and the kidneys. And here I'm going to show you a real quick picture here. This is just one picture that is amazing. And if I can find her current picture, I'm going to do that because it is so powerful. So this is, I think her name is Amy. This was her very first reset that she did back in last June, whenever it was released. This is the results of her 3 days. And Connie, I know you are on here. This is very similar. It reminds me a lot of Tyra's. She had such an incredible experience on this, and she has continued this for the last few months. And I'm going to show you this real quick. This is what she looks like today. Hold on just a minute here, you guys, because I got to find it. I didn't plan to do this, but her picture, Cassie shared it just, I think a couple days ago, and it was so powerful. I was like, wow, that is amazing. I can't read, you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna have to go into reset. Here's her current picture. I would love to hear your oohs and ahs right now because her before and after picture is amazing. And I want to say this is maybe close to a year out, but not quite a year out. But she looks amazing, and she is doing the reset periodically, okay? But she is continuing her triplex. And if any of you guys ever look and watch and see the before and afters of a lot of people that take these supplements on our testimonies, you can see a huge difference in their before and afters in just their skin. I kid you not. I joke about it, but there is so much to me that really feels like the longer you're on this stuff, the younger you get. Because if you think about how much nutrition you're putting in your body, there is so much to be said about how our bodies thrive off of nutrition. And it can be very powerful when given the correct things for our bodies. There's one other thing here. Okay, so that is our 3-day reset. And we have a reset group that's actually going to be starting on the 14th. So if you guys have anybody that is kind of on the verge of that, get them on that, or at least answer their questions. Let's get some information out to them because it can be super, super helpful. A couple things I will make mention of is our hydrate that they have out right now. That's our new, it's very limited time. It's going to be until they sell out, which my guess would be very quickly. My husband is actually a huge fan of this hydrate. It's cucumber melon. And even Ashley, I think she said that she is not a huge cucumber fan, but she really liked this because you can taste the melon a lot more than you can the cucumber. But it is really delicious, especially if you need some good vitamins and electrolytes. This is a very clean electrolyte drink. And I keep it on hand specifically for when my kids and my family are sick, especially during the wintertime when we're fighting off colds and that sort of thing. And then the last thing that I want to mention here is our sleep gummies that they came out with. A lot of places have melatonin. What they don't have is a combination that we have, which is your melatonin. You also have prebiotics in this. You have amino acids in it, and they have, oh gosh, I'm going to struggle saying it. Share if you think of it. Gashwanda. What is the name of it? Oh my gosh. Can you think of it?
Ashwagandha.
Say it again.
Ashwagandha. I'm probably
Ashwagandha.
butchering.
I think it's
Okay.
ashwagandha.
Yeah.
But that has been shown to help with so many things. It helps with sleep and relaxation. There's actually been some detoxifying natures of it too, where it helps to detoxify your body. The nice part about sleep, and this is what I love about this supplement, is number one, I always keep melatonin on hand. If any of you are familiar, during COVID, one of the regimens that a lot of the doctors put out is if you were fighting off COVID or any type of viruses, melatonin is actually a very powerful immune system booster. And so they would actually tell you to take melatonin at night whenever you go to bed. And so having this on hand, I typically keep on hand for whenever we are sick during the wintertime. My kids use it periodically when they have a hard time going to sleep, but there is so much to be said with the nutrients that are in this particular product. Now, I personally, people who have sleep issues, I always tell them, number one, you have to find the root cause of your sleep issue, right? So if we address their root cause of their gut microbiome, most of the time, over a couple months' time, they're going to be sleeping a lot better. And that's actually going to address their problems. And they won't necessarily need the sleep anymore on a regular basis. They still can have it to boost their immune system for whenever they need it, if they fight off something or something of that nature. But to be using it on a regular basis, they won't necessarily have to have. But when I used it, I will say that I did notice that I didn't feel like groggy the next day, which was really nice because I was really worried about that. But I actually felt like I dreamt more vividly than I had in a while, and I felt more rested whenever I woke up. So all that to say is, if you know of somebody who struggles with sleep issues, these can be some really powerful supplements for them to utilize while they're addressing their gut microbiome specifically, because I will always, always, always be 100%. People need to address their gut microbiome to get to the root of all of their issues. So that is my little FYI on those. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to share with you. And this one, to me, is just super powerful. And I feel like it depicts, oh, hold on, real quick. This is something that I think is worth sharing. I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to you if I didn't share it. Our company is amazing at their referral system. And honestly, if you're looking to replace income, or if you even are looking just to add a couple $100 to your budget every month, this company is an incredible company to work for. If you can see these types of bonuses that you get whenever you do your fast start, whenever you start sharing quickly, can be an incredible blessing. They can help pray for your products. And you also get little gifts along the way. So like, for example, in February, I was able to earn an iPad, and a lot of people were able to earn an iPad. So I want to make sure people understand that it is not just for people that are like going above and beyond in this company, in the sense of like the diamonds and the emeralds. Like, it is every single person. I have met so many people that were able to earn multiple different gifts from the company every month. And so they're very giving. But honestly, the income from the company has been an incredible blessing to our family. And it has gotten to the point where I'm prayerfully considering in this next year, specifically this next 6 months, hopefully by Christmas, that I won't be working at the hospital anymore. So this will be definitely my supplementation income. And I am super excited about that. Okay, here's what I'm going to end with, because this picture to me is just super powerful. And I think it is a great depiction of what we at Plexus, our team, everything we have that we can offer to people. So to me, when I came into this, I was a super healthy looking person, but I didn't feel healthy at the time, right? And so I think we all have that inner person that knows how to be healthy, or that knows that we want to be healthy, that we have bigger dreams for our bodies, our health, how we want to feel, all those different things. And here at Plexus, this is what we help you do. We help you chip away month by month, week by week, day by day, at all of those things that are holding us down, and really get to the root cause and help to strengthen you as a human, strengthen your mindset, strengthen your body, give you education, and just really walk alongside you in your health journey. And I think that picture just, whenever I saw that, somebody posted that one time, I was just like, I need to like get that and frame it in my house, because that just says so many different things to what my heart is for people. And so I hope you guys got some great information out of this tonight. I hope it was beneficial for you. I will tell you, I have it recorded. So once I get the recording, I'm going to drop it in our group threads. So if you have people that you want to share this with, you can share this with. But I hope it was helpful to you guys, and I will be planning to do it once a week. So invite your people who have questions. Hopefully, if you guys think of things you'd like shared also, those of you who are on the team, please share with me so I can research whatever it is that you want talked about and make sure and mention it. So have a blessed night, my friends. It's good to see you all. I'll see you soon. Bye.